Jesus. Okay. No wonder nobody here. I forgot to press the live button. And I was talking to myself for 10 minutes. So I'm live. Yeah. But okay, I was talking about different things for like 10 minutes and then I realized I didn't click the live button. My God, that's terrible. Alright, so let's extend this start time. Oof, oof. Не, я просто подумал, может быть, я не лайв, и хорошо, что проверил. Я потом смотрю, я not live. Okay. Let's fix that. Because, you know, I'm talking like for 10 minutes and I'm like, weird, there are no comments in the chat because normally there's at least one person in the chat who types something. And for 10 minutes, there was nobody. So I started to, you know, like wonder what's going on. Yeah. Hey Andromeda, what's up, man? All right, link to the tournament is up. So again, let's repeat. Tomorrow, we're playing in the third Lichess Liga. All right, there is the club here. The time control is 5:00. It starts at 8 p.m. It would be great if the team comes. The more people come, because you know, if we do well, we move up to higher league, and there you get to play stronger opponents. Okay, so it's better practice for you. So you guys, it's in your own interest to play in this event and try to score. No cheating, okay? Remember, in my events you can cheat. I mean, it's called, you know, learning how to work with the engines and understanding the game. But in tournaments like this, do not cheat, okay? Please, no engines allowed. You know, that's the whole reason of playing in my events, so you train yourself and you prepare, and then you play and give it all you got. No artificial help in events like this, okay? So tomorrow at 8 p.m. If our club gets active enough members, then we'll start participating in streamers battles, team events where there'll be some actual money, okay? It's not much, but it's better than nothing. And we get some bragging rights, okay? All right, so today we have practice arena. There is no specific opening. You can play anything you want. All right, crazy stuff. It's 5:00. As I mentioned, tomorrow the arena runs only for 100 minutes, 1 hour and 40 minutes with 5-minute game each. If it is a full game, it's 10 minutes, which means you're gonna play only 10 minutes, 10 games in this allotted time. Because there is berserking, probably you may get to, you know, half that the time requirement, and maybe you can play up to 20 games. Half of the 5 minutes is 2.5 minutes, which is not bad. So maybe I'll consider berserking some games, but I'm not sure, okay? I will definitely stream this event, so you guys will be able to watch your progress live, okay? All right. Well, today event is free for all, okay? Because tomorrow event, team event, is free for all who are in the club. You have to be in the club. If you want to be in the club, there is the link in the description of the event. You can join the club. So for example, if we click the link, you see this Lichess Liga tomorrow events. That's, you know, the fire thing here. That's the event, okay? So you can join the event, you can join the club. It's free to join. There is no restriction. All right, you don't need actually approval. You can just join the club, right? So yeah, my chat commands used to work, but not anymore. For some reason, I'll have to check what's going on there. The link to this tournament, to my arena, is up in the chat. At the top of the chat, there is the link to the tournament. It's pinned, okay? Yeah. The arenas are good that you can join and leave any moment and then come back, okay? I'm doing the arena for 2 hours, so yeah. Yeah, I think we should actually leave Zerking available. Yeah, I think we should allow the Zerking because it will be allowed tomorrow. So let's approximate the conditions to the main event as close as possible. So tomorrow we will know what to do. All right, waiting for the people to join. The link to both events are here. The link to my club is in the description. The link to this event is in the chat. Feel free to join. Okay, now let me get some chocolates, some honey, and I'll be set. All right, let's see. Andromeda is here. Hopefully Andromeda's entourage will join, because all right, just waiting for people. Andromeda, do you remember if 2 people are enough to start the arena? Should be enough, yeah? Because I remember on Chess.com, I think it's 2 people is actually maybe not enough, like they need 3 or something. But I haven't been on Chess.com like in the last 9 months, which is good actually. I'm actually very curious, how is Vladimir doing? Let's see. All right. Okay. Okay, what's going on? Yeah, I got that when I was doing it. Huh? What? All right, it's extremely interesting, but okay. All right, we have 3 people. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I'm trying to get the club active. So, you know, normally I stream like only 2 times a week, but because I want to get my club back on and getting active again, so I'm thinking about streaming more often. Especially now that I don't have as many students as I had before. So, by the way, important announcement. While the September is active and while it's running, all my subscribers, they get the discount for my lessons, okay? My normal rate is $100 an hour, but you get 50% discount for the September month because it's back to school. All right, so
10,
if you're interested,
9,
you can
8, 7,
write
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You can berserk or not, depends. Practice whatever you want to play. All right, we have the game. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, you can see it, yeah, good. Okay. The good old Bogo Indian. C6 is very interesting. I've never seen this in this position. Curious. Hunter of Nightmare. All right. Guys, don't forget, if you come to play in the tournament, don't forget to join the club. Okay, it's in the description of the event. And we're preparing for tomorrow's team event. Okay. So practicing the games. Yeah, so this is a little bit better for white because black is lacking some space, okay? And knights don't have good squares. So white has a little bit more space, and that kind of makes a difference in this position. Okay. What white wants to do here is the general plan is that with the bishop on g2 and rook e1, and then he wants to go f4. Okay. All right, let's see if I play. We have the Morrow gambit, which transposes into a Lapin pretty much. F4, wow, okay. Haven't seen that one. Interesting. Well, ideally, kind of want to get this bishop out before he plays 6. Yeah, so it's like Caro-Kann. I think that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, 4 is like very brave move. Imho. But number one priority in chess is to finish your development. Develop your pieces, castle your king to safety, put rooks on the open files, etc, etc. Bishop g6 is also possible, by the way, if he wants to take. So I don't want to take this bishop. On this, on the other hand, potentially gives me a way to deal with his weaknesses. Okay, keep the tension. Yeah, castling looks good. Keep the tension so he doesn't have thoughts about playing f5. Because if your pawn is on d5, then kind of white has a free hand here. So again, rooks on the open files. He wants to trade. You don't want to trade here because but with the bishop on a3, d5 becomes pretty viable actually. But do I want to play it? I don't know. Also can play this immediately anyway. And get this thing. Do I want that? Good question. I can play this. This knight is not bad. Actually, I could have played this. Yeah, I wish I blundered. Yeah, I'm thinking strategically, but of course there is a lot of tactics on board. So you should be aware of that, for sure. Hey guys. Well, you know, more is a fun game, but it's actually not that bad, so. And the idea to play chess is that you kind of want to have fun when you do it, okay? So why not? Play the fun opening, especially this is practice arena. You know, play something new, learn something new, try something new. Okay, you make a mistake, you lose a game. It's just one game. Okay. So chess is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to have a particular favorite phase of the game which you really enjoy to play. Okay. I love to play endgames, for example. I don't like openings much, but I love endgames. Middle games are also interesting. Okay. Because there's so many ways you can develop, put your pieces somewhere. This looks very interesting, but this pawn becomes very, very strong. So I'll have to say no to this capture because this was pretty strong pawn. Considering c1 goes fast, I don't have a Luft, but it was interesting. I think maybe I can survive, but in the blitz game you need time, and which is limited. Alright guys, join the event. The link to the event is at the top. Actually giving me this pawn, I'll take it. I'll take this pawn. So join the event. It's a practice for tomorrow's team event, okay? For tomorrow's team event, we are in League 3. If we have turnout and we have people who want to, you know, improve, so the idea is the more people we have, and they will climb to the higher ranks where you will actually meet stronger opponents, okay? So ideally should be interesting for everybody. So this knight, there's something 97. Let's protect this thing, but then there is rook f1 coming. Actually, I don't like knights like this, so I should probably ask him to leave, you know. So let's ask this knight to leave. Don't really like having strong pieces the opponent has in the center. I like to do this myself. Yeah. This is standard IQP piece combination. Hey Chesslaver, what's up? Alright, just to repeat, tomorrow we have the event, same time control, 5:00 at 8, starts at 8 p.m. European time. And the better we do in these events, the higher we climb, the stronger opponents you get to play, okay? And also, if our club gets active again, we will be able to play in streamers league with real prizes, which would be really helpful to your streamer, all right? Yeah, we need to get some action going. Rook h5 is possible, but I don't think it's dangerous. But we do need to take care of this situation. So let's protect, creating the threat. Then we can grab this. So we're getting more pawns. Next, we need to improve this knight. Ideally, this guy should be here. This is not a bad square, but ideally the knight should be here, okay? Queen a2 looks actually quite okay. Stop c4. Also, queen can go here. But because we want this pawn, what we can do, we can put this queen here, knight here, and start pushing these guys, yeah? Pretty much. The other idea is just to double and hit this thing. And of course, now that we have extra pawn, we can just trade material into, it's called simplification, into a superior endgame. He just gave me this pawn, wow. Alright, I'll take it. Then, of course, you're pinning for winning, always. So, hey Monservat, chess lover, guys, join the event. Remember about the pinning, but also tactics, etc. Guys, join the event. Let's get the club active again. And today we practice games, the time control. You can try practicing berserk if you want, because tomorrow there will be definitely people berserking. I'm not a big fan of berserking, but you know, if situation mandates it, why not? What berserking does is that it halves your time available. So instead of 5-0, it becomes 2.5 minutes. The plus with the berserking is you get to score more points, okay, if you win. And of course, you know, normally when there are streaks, I don't think I have streak active here. So, yeah. All right, so the general idea, we want to get our club active again, okay? If our club gets active, I might actually stream pretty much a lot more often, do more arenas. Bishop f5, okay. Yeah. Actually, it should be this knight here and this knight here, but okay, I keep forgetting how to play this correctly. Before he plays this. Yeah, I kind of win the tempo, because if I play knight f3, if I play one move slow, he can do something here. So I need to get something out here before he does that. So let's see if that is viable strategy. I don't know if it works. Let's see if it does. Try to get at least b6. So this pawn structure is not monolithic. When the pawn structure is monolithic like this, it's very hard to, you know, find a target. But if the pawn is on b6, potentially you can get some squares with the bishop. You can get some squares here. The pawn on c6, with the pawns here, this pawn is a little bit less protected. So that's why you kind of are looking for ways to do stuff like that. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. So Andrew is gambling that I cannot take this thing. Okay, but I have this move, yeah. I do have this move. Well, you don't have a lot of moves. When you don't have a lot of moves, you should just make the obvious move and then think once the position is actually required thinking. That way you save time. If the queen goes here or here, I just take the pawn and hit the knight and the rook, okay? So you should have moved the queen on d7, because now your knight is going to be hanging, no? Why didn't you play queen d7? I don't understand. Queen d7 I take, rook b8, queen a6, knight b4, okay? And knight c2 something. With the queen on d8 I can take this thing. Hit the knight now. So queen d7, you're fine. I don't understand why you didn't play that. Do not understand that at all. Knight b5 was also not bad. Alright, let's just move the queen away. Finish the developments, and we have extra pawn. This pawn is kind of important. Yeah, Andrew, I don't understand why you even thought about it. Why don't you play queen d7? It's the only move. It is the only move, man. How can you miss it? Take rook b8 and you're winning, okay? So I cannot take this pawn. My idea was to play this. If you play a6 and I go back here. And while you don't have this trick, I have a threat of knight e5, okay? So if like this, knight f3, now the threat is knight e5, and you have to play something like this. I can take, and 95. Okay, that was my idea. I remember that I looked at something like this, and white is a little bit better, but it's playable. So, but queen d7, rook d8. You hit my queen. I don't have time for bishop b5. And if queen a6, knight b4, you hit my queen again. And then you castle, knight c2 check, and rook takes b2. You go first. You like have a huge lead in the development. All right. Thanks for the sub, random DGN. Hey guys, join the events. Okay. Tomorrow we have the club events in the third Liga. To join my club, there is a link to my club in the description of the today's event. Okay, it's free to join. And tomorrow, you know, please come to play here. It starts at 8 p.m. European time. Okay. And the better we do as the club together, the more members active, the higher level of the league, the more stronger opponents you get to play. And also, if we are active, we get to play in the streamers' battles with real money prizes, like $100 something, which is still a lot better than nothing. Yeah, knight f3 sounds good, but no buts, yeah. I can play actually this maybe, yeah. So this is like Dutch now, pretty much. This becomes like Dutch. And the big question is this playable like this? Like black? I don't know, we'll find out, yeah. Gotta restrict this knight probably. Yeah. Attack the pawn. No, we don't allow this. Although, you know, it was okay to allow knight c5 because bishop goes and then b6. But, you know, knight is on the rim, which is good for me. So black is now completely okay. Finish the development. Yeah, you can do this, but if I play c5, what about this pawn? Not that I really need it. And I also need to do something about this, yeah. This bishop is strong. Don't want to play e4 or knight e4. Good question. I kind of want to trade this bishop. Or I can play this actually, but then f4 is unpleasant, yeah. This knight is not protected. I don't like this move, but okay, let's see. And let's play like this, okay? Because the bishop is supposed to be on this diagonal. And this knight will move here, and after the bishop trade, the knight will go here into the e5 square. Maybe not the best, but should be okay. On the other hand, if I play this, yeah, then I have to play this. I need to stop c5 and fix this pawn, because now knight is not that good. It's close to equal still, you know, because white is playing very solidly, obviously. b5 is kind of unusual. Okay, let's fix this thing, or keep it for a6. Maybe keep it for a6, yeah. Who knows? Yeah, that's what I thought. We're gonna try to open the second file while the knight is not that good. And try to infiltrate, yeah. It's very interesting actually. c4 is very interesting. g5 is also playable. The king comes here, then what's h4, h4, c4, e3. Look, c1 is a problem, yeah. Yeah, I need the pawns here. Yeah, this trade is actually, maybe white is okay, yeah, because got square for the knights. Maybe I should not have taken this so fast. That's interesting. Okay, let's try to utilize my pawn formation here. And push this guy. So we now have kind of pawn majority here, potentially pass pawn. Potentially. So white's main problem is that this knight is very strong, yeah? But this knight needs to protect this pawn. So white is kind of steaming a little bit. So he has to play something like that, yeah. H4. I don't think a5 is a viable threat, but you never know. This bishop moves. I don't really want to move the bishop. Don't really want to move the bishop. Yeah, but now his pieces can come out, yeah? That's the problem. That is the problem, yeah. Right, thanks for the follows. 93, yeah, gonna take, h3, king here. Yes, king d3 is very interesting. I didn't see it. I did not see that move. I did not see that move. If I take, because you know the pawn is strong, yeah. The pawn is strong. Okay, that works. What am I missing? Oh, that was actually tier 2 sub, random DGN. Thanks, man. Everyone is back. Good. All right. Good. Hey, Lionel Chessy, what's up? What's up, guys? Yeah, get that club active again. It's almost like COVID days, yeah? Yeah. Gotta share some knowledge that I have. So let's do that. Yeah, okay, let's try berserking. Yeah, we're gonna play London attack. The good old Fischer opening. Still very, very popular among the elite. Because the first 10 moves you can kind of make on autopilot. You actually don't need a brain. You do need a brain later, that's true. Knight on b6 is not good. There is a reason why black plays c5, knight c6. Because knight here is very restricted. Knight on c6 controls more squares, and you prevent your expansion. Because if white expands here, that means black should expand somewhere here. But if you don't expand, then don't expect anything good. f6 is reasonable. Yeah. Alright, let's play this. The only problem was this bishop, yeah. Also, black puts the bishop on e7, not on g7. This is especially effective if black's bishop is on g7, okay? The bishop on e7, the setup for white is not as effective. It's still reasonable, but not as effective. Alright, let's trade. He trades because now he gets some pressure. But we get the knight here, which is good. These pawns actually maybe not the best thing I've done. But okay, it's reasonable. Why not? And cement this knight. We're cementing this weakness here. And then we're going to try to use it, okay, to our advantage. How? I don't know yet. Logically speaking, we should just pile up on this pawn. Yeah. At what time the event is tomorrow? 8 p.m. and it's arena. You can join late, okay? You don't have to be like perfectly on time for the events. 94, why? Just improve your pieces. You know, there's always a better location for your pieces if you look for it. Like we're hitting potentially these guys, yeah. The big question is, what is g4? Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so great. Right now, I'm kind of focusing on this pawn. And the big question is, should you trade this bishop or knight? Yeah, knight is beautiful. And you see, he's trying to get his pieces here. Sneaky. So let's grab this bishop. Actually, once he plays d4, you can put this knight here, yeah. That's something you can do for sure. But yeah, definitely tempo, prevent knight g4 also. But if you play this, then knight c4, yeah. Remember I mentioned that, yeah. Knight here is the best square because he controls the square from the black knight. He also hits this pawn. Thanks for the follows. Hello, Mr. Fabian. Yeah. Please join this practice event as well. And you can wait. You're just giving me the rook. Okay, I'll take it. And let's do the pinning for winning thing. Yes. Yes, you have to play this. Wait, you didn't even play 93? Wow. Why did you put the knight here then? You should play 93 if you get a chance, man. Do I need this bishop? I think his king is so naked that you don't really need the bishop. Don't really need the bishop. This rook is very active, and now you create mating threats, yeah. Centralization always works. So does fixing the this pawn structure. This creates a threat. Which my opponent didn't see. Alright. Alright guys, don't forget to join the club. Okay, the link to the club is in the description of tonight's event. Also, you can see the event once you join the club. There is the tournament list, and the upcoming tournament has the fire symbol, and it starts in 21 hours. Okay, so you can click and see for yourself if you're a club member. All right. By the way, Andromeda is still our club team leader. Okay, so be nice to him. So play around with zerking or not. If you want, you can zerk. If you don't zerk. All right. Can we try some Philidor? It's been ages since I played Philidor. Actually don't remember how to play it. It's like this. And then something 25, yeah. Was it? My god, I don't remember. Can I play knight c6 actually? Is knight c6 playable? I have no idea. Let's see it. Oh, but this is definitely okay for black, yeah? White has 0 advantage. Definitely good for black now. Completed development, spins, this thing. Black's fine. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, partner. You just gave me a pair of bit. And you should take with the pawn, right? Now it's fork and you lose the piece. Dude, what are you doing? Think. You have whole 4 minutes. You have time to think. Okay? Think. Use that time. My god. Oh. Yeah, I'll have to check Vladimir's Twitter page. There's so much stuff going on there that I didn't check like for a week, and there is a ton of new things there. I need to see what's going on. All right. So last time I played this London attack. This time let's play English tank. By the way, Cole is like experiencing a huge renaissance period. Cole is not actually c4, it's e3, but you know, Naka plays a lot of b3, e3 stuff, yeah? Which often transposes into the c5, take d4 things. Now the big question, how do you recapture? Yeah? Actually a big proponent of the keeping the center. But some people take with the bishop, castle, and then go for an attack. That also is quite a viable strategy. Don't see why not. So the idea is to castle first, and then you kind of start fighting for the center. Delayed center grab. Not immediately. So that black doesn't have easy way to trade stuff. That's the whole point of the system. You're kind of keeping this bishop open and this pawn flexible. Yeah, maybe it goes to d3, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, it becomes all sorts of positions, man. I'm a big fan of f4, g4 attacking though, so it's not exactly semi-Slav. Yeah, you kind of stop that. Play a3 or a4. Because if you play a4, that means he has the square, but he has to spend more time to recapture that square. Okay. All right, so let's go. Knight g5. So I'm not a big fan of d4 in this situation. I'm a big fan of f4. Yeah, because Sicilian Khan reversed. You guys see it, yeah? It's like Sicilian Khan reversed. And you go like that. And you kind of need to trade this bishop also. It's very, very strong bishop. And then it becomes extremely, extremely complex, because if his knight arrives here, he can potentially go here, and that you kind of can stop. All right, what was that? That sounds familiar. Oh, we got the raid from St. Louis Chess Club. My God, it's been a long time, guys. Thank you for the raid. St. Louis Chess Club. Damn. I was doing the recap of the Sinkville Cup recently. A lot of fun games. Great tournament, as usual. A little bit too elitist, but okay. Is okay. All right. So see this thing here, queen and knight. So what you should automatically think in this type of position is, can you play knight d5? Yeah. And pretty much you should play it like immediately, because it forces the trade of the super important bishop. The pawn switches and allows your bishop to get to the diagonal to continue the attack. Okay. So when you have this opportunity, you should immediately take it. Immediate man. Okay. Now we have an extremely interesting situation. You know what actually is very interesting if this move actually works? The reason it might work, at least in the blitz game, is because I have this follow-up. And the threat is this. You can also play d6 immediately, then check, and then queen here, but for now this is very strong because he doesn't have the block. Because you take here and remove the block, yeah, and then check. So you kind of win a tempo. You guys see what I'm saying? Now his king is under attack, direct attack from pair of bishops, rook, queen. Also this pawn is able to join, and his king is protected pretty much by only 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So his rooks are not participating, which makes the sacrifice extremely sound. Okay. My prediction for Gukesh versus Bakrov first rounds. Wait. What? Why did Gukesh Bakrov first round? I think I should have played d6 here and then queen g6. Yeah. Alright, that was a small mistake on my part. That was my small mistake because I thought I can do this later, but miscalculation. Should have played d6 here. That was my original intention. d6, bishop takes, and queen g6. Queen g6 is wrong. Okay. I mean, it's shouldn't be a too bad move, but it's just wrong. It looks very wrong. Yeah. Yeah, one mistake is all it takes to screw up. That's chess. Chess is like that. Now black is completely okay. Yeah? My God. Okay, let's see it. Let's see it. Don't really have a choice here. Knight f7. Knight f7 doesn't seem right. This does not look right. I think knight f7 is incorrect. Ah, but queen f7 runs into bishop e5, yeah, so king e8, but then rook f1, yeah. Okay, so maybe I'm not so bad, yeah. Actually, I thought I'm losing, but maybe I am okay, yeah. It should be win. Where is this win? Queen g6, keep it like this, or bishop here, bishop h5 maybe. Queen e7 is potentially coming. Queen e6 is also actually playable, no? I mean, check. Another check. Then let's move the bishop. The bishop to the rescue. And the analysis is +4, yeah? Yeah, bishop d3 is good. And this evaluation of this position. Досножка может что говорил? А? Ничего? Okay, so the sack is correct, but yeah, d6, yeah? Queen g6 is wrong, yeah, d6, taken queen g6 now. Because it's mate, and if he plays this, then you take now. And no recapture is possible, yeah? Alright, that's the plan. Pairing came to the Grand Swiss, they're playing the first round. This was much cooler than playing with d4, sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should try different things and see what works for you. If you like to play attacking chess, then go and play attacking chess, okay? Who's stopping you? You can play aggressive chess with white or black. There are a lot of aggressive openings. I mean, as long, you know, if you're not like in a professional league or trying to win professional prizes, just have fun. Yeah, I'll check the pairings for the what's it called, Grand Swiss tomorrow, later. Might do some recaps. Probably after tomorrow's this event, team event, I'll check some games and do maybe some recaps. Let's see. I don't know yet. Okay, don't know. No idea if I have energy, but I'll try. All right, this is standard Cambridge-Springsky Cambridge Springs structure, except that knight on b6 should not be there. The way Dreyev plays this, let me quickly show you. The way black is supposed to play here is that you take this knight, put the bishop here, and play b6 and develop this bishop here, okay? And it's considered to be a little bit better for white, but it's a very complicated position, okay? I played it with black, it's actually very tricky. And the black can easily take over because the structure is absolutely crazy. So it's a big fighting system. Yeah, actually looks like black is still okay now, but at the cost of the pawn. Interesting. Alright. Alright, people. This tournament is free to play. You don't even have to be in the club, but it would be nice if you can join the club, because tomorrow we have the team event. I'm trying to get my club active again, so we can play in the team events, we can do some streamers, battles, return all that good stuff. But it's gonna take some time, okay? And it's gonna take me more streaming days. I was having a break from active streaming for the past few years, but I think it's time, yeah, to kind of return to it. Wait, didn't we just play this? I played this against somebody, no? Knight c3 immediately. That's actually probably a better idea, yeah. It's probably a better idea. Interesting. Okay, several ways to respond. You can play e6, but that kind of stops my bishop from being developed here, which I really don't like. I kind of really like my bishop there, you know. Kind of really liked my bishop there. I can also take on e5 and play g6, but then there's some sort of stuff starts to happen. But you know what? Okay, let's try it. I'm curious. I am curious, so let's try it. Okay. Now I want to try this. Because I don't think you can take this pawn. Not with your developments. It should not be playable. I mean, maybe playable, but black should have enough defensive resources. My god, he still took it. Wow. Alright. I guess somebody's having fun, yeah? That's what I was talking about. Having fun is important. Alright. Let's double the fun. Well, right now the threat is obvious. Yeah, queen takes d4. No, but this is not good. Yeah, because I have a tempo. And you lose this critical pawn. This is critical pawn, man. And your king is also in the center. With all the pieces alive, the bishops, I'll be the one attacking, not you actually. So that was not a good idea. Normally you just play bishop b3, castle, bishop e3, and then, you know, try to develop an attack like h4, knight g5, play normally instead of sacrificing stuff. You know, people play like that. You can do too. You can do too. Alright, is the stream in progress? Should be in progress, yeah. Is it? Yeah, I think it's in progress, yeah. Alright, everybody's busy. So let's just give you a quick look here. See, it's playable, but you have to play bishop b3. And I was here not sure if I can play bishop g4 or castle. My idea was to castle. I was concerned about this, and then yes, I have to play this. This is exactly what I wanted to do. But I wasn't sure what is this position. Take, take. Apparently black is fine. And then I come back and remove your knights. Maybe knight c4 even. And queen c8, perfect defense, defense everything. Yeah, black is fine. Yeah, so that's what you should have done. And because if you castle, then I can play bishop g4, yeah? And hit this pawn, that's a problem for you. And if you play like this, knight a5, I hit this bishop first, then I hit this bishop. Actually, wrong knight. Should be this knight, because this knight comes back here to attack this pawn. And then knight 4a5, yeah. So you guys see the dancing here, yeah? I'm trying to attack this pawn before white managed to consolidate. If he managed to consolidate the center, I'm worse because my bishop is closed, his bishop is active, and his rook is open, okay? He has way more open file. So if he gets bishop here, queen here, and rook on d1, white actually has an advantage, okay? So black has to go for the immediate counterplay, right? And after bishop f7, yeah, I was thinking castling, yeah, it's nothing, okay. All right, So see what I'm doing? I'm analyzing the game. Those moments which struck me during the game is where I was uncertain, okay? So that's what you should do, guys, okay? When you play the game and it was messy and you was not sure, you have to identify the precise moments where you were not sure and analyze them. And that gives you confidence for the next time you play a messy position that your analysis is correct and you can actually trust your intuition and your tactical calculation. All right? It's important. You can't resist the sack. Yeah, I understand. And in tournaments like this, you can try, okay? But ideally, you should still calculate 2-3 moves in advance and see if the sack works or not. Because in this position, you're not castled, you're not developed, and you're going for the sack. So that means if whether you can mate me in the next few moves, or you can finish the development and get compensation, or it just doesn't work, yeah? In this case, it just doesn't work. But it was interesting, I agree. All right. How many people do we have? Have 14 people. Guys, come on, we can do better. I know that there are more people watching. You can just play, all right? Instead of watching play, enjoy the game. You know, it's been a while since I played something like this. So I'm gonna play this. Grab the pawn. Move the queen back. And okay. Yes, yes, White plays actually correctly. He does have compensation for the pawn, for sure. And the question is, can I survive this? Yeah? I haven't got the foggiest, okay. I haven't got the foggiest idea if I can survive this. But I need to castle, that's one of the first things that I need to do. I need to castle, I need to get out of this pin. Also my king is kind of compromised, so let's do all that. Yeah, he has pressure. My pieces are very bad. I want to play this. I don't want to play a6, okay? Because if you play a6, he just moves his bishop and then your pieces are kind of stuck. But I'm trying to acquire some, you know, squares for my knights and other pieces. So let's see if that works. Maybe it doesn't. It probably doesn't, which is fine. But it stops and makes him think, okay? It kind of confuses your opponent, which is also kind of important, okay? See, now we can attack this target. He really neglected this knight, but now we hit the center. And suddenly things are not so easy because this pawn is hanging. But so does this pawn. They're both important because they're central pawns. Central pawns are important because they control central squares where your minor pieces can go. And if you can snatch one pawn or another, yes, it does open the files, but it also means that your pieces can get some squares, okay? So there's always a trade-off in chess which you should like pay attention to. Yeah, okay, 6, interesting. But okay, let's... Actually, very interesting choices. Yeah, we can grab this pawn or this pawn. I think we should not allow this bishop to be cornered, actually. So let's probably grab this. No? Central pawns is more important than this standard. And you kind of want to break this pawn chain that imprisons the bishop. How do you say imprisons? It's a verb in French. Пиже?
Пьеже, надо пойманный, а можно emprisonné тоже.
Импризоне?
Да, но...
Ля Бастиль?
Я бы сказала пьеже.
Бастиль. Yeah.
Я бы сказала пьеже.
Пиже? Okay.
Но может не прав.
Alright, so this 96 could be a thing. So let's protect it, I guess. Imprisoner. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chesteroid. That was enlightening. Yeah, I'm trying to learn some French. There is some interesting ideas in the air about my French involvement. I cannot disclose them yet, but if things work out, this will be extremely interesting year.
В чем разница между пьеже, я потом узнаю.
So we managed to close this bishop, and now we have to survive the onslaught. Yeah, that's why I need to kind of up my French learning thing. Okay. So I'm trying. I am trying. Wait, what? Did you just give me a piece? What for? Huh? Why? Why would you do that? It is very interesting, yeah, that's for sure. Okay, here you have to check, yeah? And I am pinned, but why cannot just move away from the pin? Is it criminal to move away from the pin? Yeah, 5 is actually unpleasant. Okay, I'll continue grabbing everything you give me, because that's my motto. Motto. Yeah, the big question now with the queen goes, yeah. Also, I do have knight c3, yeah, but it's kind of absolutely ridiculous how crazy the position will become. I have queen c8, queen f8, queen g8. Which one should I pick? Probably should be just this one, although queen g8 has its finesse. Let's play this. The finesse is that I'm protecting the bishop, and if he recaptures, I can recapture with the bishop actually. Yeah. So the question was, I recapture with the queen or with the bishop, and I don't know which one is better. No clue. I think black should be fine though. I mean, rook is active, has nice active pieces. This rook is the best piece that white has, yeah? Attacking, and my rook is kind of bad. I was thinking I can play just like this. Just to protect. Is this possible? But queen h5 seems wrong. This seems wrong, man. Especially after this, yeah? No, but come on. Very interesting. So after e5, knight b6. See, black is better actually, yeah? So this position is actually already unclear. Knight a6 was correct defensive maneuver. Knight b6 is correct. Ah, f5. Okay, f5 is not easy. Yeah. And after this, white is better. Yeah, I was afraid of that. See, in one move can change from better to worse. But you had to find this absolutely crazy move, which is very hard. And the idea is that you don't even take. I played this, yeah. So you sacrifice absolutely everything. You sacrifice absolutely everything between getting to this thing and then the spin, yeah. Because my queen has nowhere to go. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And if gf5, you still play this, and you keep this pawn, disconnect my pieces, and start the attack. Knight f6. And just this, and start hitting everything. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Alright guys, there's still 1 hour of this arena. Feel free to join. The link to the tournament is at the top of the chat. The link to my club. We're practicing for tomorrow's team club events where our club plays. If you can join this event in advance, I think. Okay. So you can join tomorrow's event in advance. Should be, because I did. But maybe not, I don't know. Because team leaders can join, okay? The jungle main, what should you pick? I don't know, buddy. Rengar since looks pretty badass. Fed Rengar just one-shots everybody, yeah? So let's go hunting. Yeah. I stopped playing League actually, like I haven't played in a week. I got really disappointed. Really disappointed. I keep getting teams which go like 0-7, 0-5, 1-8 in first 5 minutes, and there is nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. Which is okay, that's the league, yeah. The problem with the league is that they don't have transparent matchmaking system. They have this cooked up sauce, and all sorts of crazy theories, conspirational theories are abound, and we all know better than to trust when the corporation says one thing, yeah? We all know how to trust the big corporations because they're only interested in what's best for them, not what's best for everybody else. And I absolutely believe in a loser's queue. I also believe in that huge behavioral system bullshit and the 50% enforced rule. So yeah, although sometimes, you know, when you feel like you need something more than just, you know, playing some chess and contemplating the meaning of life. If you feel like you really need to shoot somebody, do something, you know, like aggressive, then playing League actually is a pretty good option. You can go get your steam off, call your all teammates losers, yeah, and get that steam off, which is much better than, you know, doing something crazy in real life. So in that respect, I think League actually serves its purpose. It does serve its purpose. Yeah, okay, so the question, how do we play here? Because f4 and something is coming, so we need to, I think this is the one of the ways to kind of stop the attack, yeah. Maybe it's not the best, but okay, let's see if it works, yeah. Let's see if it works. Because I really don't like when people are attacking my king. Though technically you could play knight d2, queen e2, get some blocks, but just the feeling when somebody gets f4, knight g5, knight h3, and then like gets close to my king makes me nervous. Yeah, I agree. The league was a lot of fun in the beginning. Yeah. Actually, I came to league. I first started playing Dota because I heard Nepo plays it, and also it was 2014 second international. Dota was just becoming popular, and I played like for a couple of years, and then I realized the matchmaking is also crap. And then I moved to League, and then I played League since then. I mean, in Dota, I played. They had events, those days. They had a lot of very cool events. And one of the cool events that I took part in was the Phantom Assassins contracts, okay? Where you get Phantom Assassin, your nice looking blades, epic blades or something, okay? And I love to play Phantom Assassin. My God, she was so hot. Yeah, those were the days. That's why I played pretty much Dota, because I love to play Phantom Assassin. Well, what can you do? And then the events stopped, and then they came up with all that battle passes, all those ridiculous things. Hey, Gennaro, what's up, man? Yeah, old man. I mean, it's hard to believe, that League and Dota are already almost 20 years old, man. Okay, 15 years old or something. It's like they're ancient games. Modern kids, they don't even play them anymore, which is good. I can't recommend these games, and it's such a huge waste of time. And they do nothing for your development. It just take your steam off, Yeah, there's some elements of strategy, of course, like any game, but the team games, they should really develop and help the team games. But when you have solo queue system where pretty much your team members are encouraged to steal from your farm, take your kills, everybody's trying to be a star, that is kind of wrong. Right, do we need to take the spawn, or we hunt the spawn? I would say that let's go grab the spawn first. Let's grab the spawn first, keep this pressure. Although it might be a wrong choice. I maybe should have just taken the spawn, get the square, check, trade the bishops. Yeah, because you have this move, yes. You do have that move. Yeah. And the big question is, why did I allow that? Why did I allow that? I don't know. Take or not? The spin is very unpleasant, to be honest. Yeah, I messed up, okay? Messed up. What can I say? Alright, let's go damage control, yeah? Like when you play in chess team events, yeah, sure, you have everybody has his own board and plays there, yeah, but they don't come over to your board and steal your pieces, okay? That's just not done. And everybody is cheering you up like 100%. In these so-called team sport games, it's completely different. How do you explain to the stranger that, you need to work together? It's not easy. It could be done, but it's not easy. extra pawn. Center. Knight f5 coming. Yeah, so I'm taking a break. I'm just going back to Stellaris. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I actually paid the subscription. Subscription was nice because it allows you, you know, to experience all the current new stuff, which was very nice actually. But it ran out, and on the one hand, I'm pretty happy it ran out because I really don't like the machine age expansion and that whole Cyborg Lady crisis thing. My god, that was... I think that was... The whole expansion was nice, but except that particular crisis is just so nuts. I really hated it. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. How do we win this? It should be made somewhere, yeah. Well, 96, pretty much anything mates. Bishop g6. Should be made, yeah. Yeah, it's made in two actually. Cool. King e7, queen g7, knight takes the square, and then bishop here. Yeah, sorry, you hit on my push button thing. Yeah. Queue up as Evelyn. Yeah, Evelyn is good for you, not so good for the team, because you know, when the visible jungler comes, you know, he becomes the target, and the laners, they don't get focused, yeah. Because jungle is getting focused. I mean, okay, whatever. I'm still a noob. Yeah, GG. All right, guys. So anyway, this is chess stream. This is not league stream. Let's go back to the chess. We have 14 people. Tomorrow, guys, we have the club event. Please come. Okay, this is the event. If you're a club member, you can go to the club page and see the tournament lists. It's listed right here at the top with the fire sign. Starts in 20 hours. Again, the more people come and play, the more points we get, the higher we go, and the stronger opponents you get to play. Okay, more practice, better for you. So it's good for everybody. We have 47 more minutes of this arena. Andromeda, try Zerking, man. Those of you who don't know what Zerking is, you should try it, okay? Because with 5 minutes it leaves you with 2.5 minutes, which is good enough. And you don't have increment anyway, okay? You don't have increment anyway, so it makes sense to Zerk when you have no increment tournaments. Except that, of course, where you have the bullets, I think the difference between 30 seconds and 1 minute is just too large. In general, I don't like Zerking because if somebody survives and then pre-moves and then I lose on time, it kind of goes against every principle that I have in chess. I play chess because I want to play the game, not to play, you know, who is the fastest mouse clicker in the West. Yeah, but okay, what can you do? Yeah. That's why I stopped playing the Lichess bullet arenas, and pretty much don't play 3-0s. Sometimes I do, but okay. And we got the Mora Gambit, yeah, in Sicilian. And White is doing well. He's got pretty much a dream position. So let's see how Black plays here. Whiskey on the Rooks. Hey man, It's been a while. How you been? The worst are ultra bullet tournaments. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the bullets are for the masochist and for the young, okay? If you're young, actually in my younger days, okay? In my younger days, when I played on ICC, if I suspected someone of cheating, I would challenge them to a bullet match. Because I was fast, I was strong, and I could immediately see the difference, if this person was cheating or not. Okay? In the old days, bullet was actually the way to unmask the cheater. But not these days. Yeah. These days, you just load up on that web browser extension and it automatically plays moves for you or something. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how far the chess helpers became advanced to the point, like, you know, why bother? Yeah, there's normally b6, but okay, I'm like old school person, so I play this system. And the legendary Nimzo with the legendary idea of going after this double pawn. Yeah. It's kind of crazy how good those guys were. Yeah. Rook e1 is kind of a waste of time. You can play e4 immediately, actually. Knight e5 is incorrect. Should play e4, e5 and go for the attack. Okay. And you should definitely keep your bishop pair, because you're just pawn down now for no compensation. Man. And you should avoid the spin, okay? So the question is, should I play h6 or just move the knight? I think both moves are viable. h6 actually makes sense to also make a luft. You don't always play h6, especially with the light squared bishop alive. You should not play h6, okay? Because e5, queen. But since the bishop is not here, I think you can certainly play it. You can play this too. This knight is cemented. You have pawn majority. And you get a nice plan against isolated pawn. You can take also with the knight, of course, but you know, the queen in the center is actually pretty nice. Why not? But knight in the center is also good, yeah. All right, chess lovers, see you, man. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Try to come tomorrow, okay? For the club event. Because it's gonna be our first event. If nobody shows up, that'll be like really sad. Me. Because that will tell me that nobody needs my club then. Yeah, this knight is pretty strong. Normally I play knight d7 or something, yeah. Remove this knight. Yeah, so let's do it. Or you can put your own knight on d5, yeah, that's true. But okay, let's see how white plays, yeah, because several ways to play. Several ways to play this. right. Thank you guys for coming. If you can come tomorrow, it will be very nice. Thank you. All right, let's trade. Activate the rook. Pin. Pinning for winning, yes. I'm not doing anything extraordinary, guys. I'm doing like exactly what I'm telling you. What I've always been telling you, Pinning for winning, hitting targets, etc., etc. Not doing any magic stuff. Not doing anything magical. Since he plays f4, now his king is a little bit more vulnerable. Ideally, you want to provoke this, so then you can infiltrate second, okay? I take this, has b7, so okay, let's take it back. Yeah, rook e4 I really don't like. I thought rook a8 was necessary. Because now this is another pin, this is first pin, this is another pin, and this is third pin, okay? So white is completely pinned up. And, black rook's active. Ideally, your rook should be active. Like my rook is protecting, attacking, okay? It's called active rook. And after you take, this is active rook, supports the pawn from behind. That's the classics, Alright, so I can keep this pawn alive because your queen is really bad blockader, or I can take two pawns and play the queen endgame. The queen endgame is extremely boring, and it's gonna take a lot of moves. So you should keep this pawn, it's very strong, and then you need to kick this queen out, okay? One of the ways to do that is to take this rook. Because you take the rook and you promote the pawn. Okay. Magic. Well, it stops being a magic once you understand it and once you practice it, and then you create your own magic. So I want you guys to start creating your own magic. Technology is magic, especially to the uninitiated. Okay, let's go. The dragon. My God, it's been so long. Yeah, actually the dragon with bishop c4 is like probably best. Also g4 is probably the best move, but I'm gonna play this line. Even in the dragon, there are some lines which are extremely strategic, and this is one of those. Because if you play dragon, the next move, but you play this, Yeah, the d5 is main line, okay, instead of bishop d7. This one, I don't know what this is. Should be something attack, yeah, going on. If I play bishop c4, is it transposition? It looks like it, yeah. If I don't play it, then is it a transposition then? You know what, I'm just gonna go into the endgame. I don't care about the attack. Because I know my endgame skills are good, okay? And it's safe, alright? That's all I care about. So I'm not gonna go into the attack. I'm not gonna play g4, h5, yeah. If I was younger, I would probably do that, but you know. Right now I'm content with playing slightly better endgame. Even if it's equal, it's also cool, okay. I'm cool with that. And we got another interesting position. Very interesting. How do you play here? Well, let's see it, yeah? I don't know. Got to see it. Sometimes the bishop goes to g5, just to cement this thing. So if I take first, the threat is this. He can try to find some intermezzo, but if knight c3, then I have queen h6, okay? So, but there are some other intermezzos he can try, like this or that. But in both cases, the pawn will be targeted. Yeah. So pawn takes. The reason it's pawn because I want to fix that thing. Now the knight can move back. And now the real fun begins, yeah? What is this position? This is kind of a threat. Check and then all the pawns kind of get loose. The queen currently protects against this queen a5 thing. To me this looks like white is a little bit better, but maybe not so much. But this g4, h5 is actually a critical idea, yeah? If black can protect against this, then he should be okay. If he cannot, then white is much better, yeah? So that's the critical consideration now. No. What? But you don't have time for rook c8, yeah? Do you? Yes, I'm getting pinned, but I think I survived the spin, yeah? Do I? Yeah, I didn't expect this move at all, but I think I should survive this. Because my rook is here. And can you hit this knight a third time? Fourth time, I mean? 1, 2, 3. You need the knight, yeah? But you don't have access. Yeah. Yeah, you keep sacrificing stuff. Keep sacrificing stuff. Not bad. You should definitely, yeah, sacrifice, but after the game you should analyze, okay? A little bit and see if it was correct or not. So after this game, let me check if this dragon, the way I played it, was playable. Okay. If I take, then he gets the file. So bishop e2, let's connect the rook. And I probably can play this. And then king b2 actually, yeah? Should be playable. And king here, and I'm done with the pin. I'm done with the spin. The moment knight comes out, black can resign. Pretty much. Where's my spoon? cannot find my spoon. Damn. And king a1 probably also works. King a1 also does work. And we grab the pawn. So we're out, we have extra queen. No, I mean extra rook. That's a lot of material, and we're good. Okay, but this should be an easy win, no? Yeah. All right, hold on a second. Let me check. Let me check. Yeah, this looks strong. Yeah, g4 immediately. Yeah, g4. The reason you play g4 first, you stop h5 pretty much. Like a black plays this, h4, h5. Now you can just take it. And you know, now the attack is real. Yeah, bishop here, f4. You remove the knight and hit everything. Because the way I played it, of course, he plays h5, and now, yeah. So g4 was the move, h5, standard, take, knight f5, I forgot about that. And apparently white is much better, but you need to calculate them. You need to know queen h2 move, which I don't know. And then you need to know knight e4 with the idea of knight g5, queen h7 mate. And that white is winning here, yeah. So e6. Knight g5. Knight g5 is wrong. Black's fine. Bishop g5 apparently. With the idea of knight f6, f6, and f6, fg6, yeah. Okay. And after knight d5, okay, the advantage white, yeah. And after this, advantage black. Wow. That was fast. And I had to take, and king b1. It's a little bit better for white. And then g4, yeah. What was the problem with this move? Take. Yeah, here you need to take this first, yeah. 95. And now you take on c2. See, you mixed up the move order. Because now I can take this first, yeah. That was the problem. And if you play this first, I don't have this move because of this. Yeah, it's kind of very important, by the way. And then bishop f5 and you win, yeah. Yeah, very nice. So that means I have to play this, but black then plays this and knight c4, and I cannot trade the bishop. If I cannot trade this bishop, then black's attack is gonna be really strong. All right. You guys see it, yeah? Okay, good. All right, we still have another half an hour. People can join this arena. Why we play this arena? Because tomorrow we have the club event. We're having practice. Okay, it starts tomorrow at 8 p.m. If you want to come and play for my club location is in the description of today's event. Free to join. And show up tomorrow. And let's try to play well and score well so we can move up the ranks. If we move up the ranks, you get to play better, stronger opponents, okay, and learn more things. Дашь мне ложечку?
Конечно.
Потому что медика.
А тогда я сейчас тебе чай сделаю, да?
Да, пожалуйста.
Хорошо.
Alright, that was intermezzo for the tea. It certainly helps that my wife is the tea master.
But I make usual tea, not the
Yeah, okay, but still. Your tea is the best. Alright, let's play English. English! I usually like to play this line because it kind of stops all this F4 stuff. Okay. Then actually take because your pawn is hanging. And if you take, I can play this. Yes, and then we get this very interesting position. Everybody is developing. Who is better? No clue. Let's finish the developments. We're also creating a thread, which means this queen's location. Wait, just give me the pawn, man. Why are you giving me the pawn? You're playing fast and you're missing tactics. Alright, slow down. Slow down a little bit, man. So I can take here, but then I give up this pawn. Do I want that? If I take here, queen takes and hits this pawn too. I mean, it's okay. But I think I actually want to keep my bishop because it protects, hits everything, and we are stronger in the center, fully developed. Extra pawn, knight is on the rim. It doesn't have easy access to this pawn. So black has no compensation. Tempo. See, it's easy to grab pawns, but maybe you should do better, yeah? Alright. Would you be interested in playing another streamer, General Zod, best out of 3 in Rapids? To be honest, I prefer not to play streamers that I don't know personally in personal matches. I don't know him. So every time you play something like that is a risk. Wait, what? Huh? Knight c3? Notice knight c3. What is this move? what we can do is we can do stream battles, yeah? Stream battles where members of our teams, they play each other, the good old stream battles. The personal matches I try not to play, again, unless it's somebody I know personally. Because I don't know who this guy is. Still taking bishop g5, yeah. Still kind of annoying. Queen d4, very interesting. Very interesting play, Mr. But okay, so if I take... Ah, shit, I cannot castle, shit. I can't castle. Ah, wait, I can take this, and I can do this, yeah? I don't have to... Yeah, I can do this. Yeah, now black is fine. Black is completely okay now. As long as I don't blunder bishop g5 here. Black should be completely okay. Tempo. Try to use the tempo play when you play chess. c6, so move the knights. I mean, c5 is unplayable, yeah. Why not? Because you kind of need to set up the active pawn structure. So extra pawn is good. This is not the greatest move, actually. I should have played b6 like I planned, because he plays this and this pawn is hanging. Oh, made a mistake. Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for your understanding. Well, and to be honest, you know, I do have a glory past, yeah. Playing a match against me is like, you know, still need to prove something, okay? Kind of still need to prove that you're worthy. I'm not just an everyday grandmaster. I mean, if the guy comes up with a nice price fund, yeah, nice location, we can do it live, right? I don't care whoever it is. If the money is there, if it is over the boards, I can play anybody, okay? I don't care. Alright, so there's rook d6, very nice bishop. Yeah, white has created problems for me for sure. White did create problems for me here. Yeah, he managed to disconnect my pawns, now he has compensation. This pawn is under attack. Yeah, it's starting to look not that great for me, but okay. If you don't know what to do, simplify the position. That's what you should do. And we can get the knight here, yeah? Do we have to? Because otherwise he takes on c5 and spend, which I don't like. Yeah, probably white is okay here. He survives, yeah. Bishop is very strong. I have extra pawn, but rooks and bishops are very, very strong. This, I don't know. Why not rook c4, yeah? Rook c4 looks very logical. I don't know why you didn't play it. Okay. c4 looks good. So does rook c6. Then I can play this. My pawn is very strong. If you don't pay attention to this pawn, the pawn will run down the lane. Alright guys, what is your view on this offer? How many of you think what I said makes sense, okay? Uncle got him. What do you mean uncle got him? You know, is it like a Chinese greeting where you see an older dude and you sort of call him uncle? Well, uncle. I don't know. I don't know, man. Right, rook c4 is logical, yeah? Stops a4, hits the bishop. And I need to protect this knight. Now I need to figure out the way. But this is bad. It just gave me tempo. You just lost the game in one move. Your rook was fine. Here or here. You cannot allow my knight to cross this file. Dude. Okay. Time scramble. Yes. The time scramble. Our favorite, yeah. Check. Do we create mating zone? How do we create mating zone for this thing? I don't have time. No time. Yeah, okay, fine. Fine. 6. Yes, finally we got him. He wins on time. Okay, good job. Yes, you can flag me for sure. That is true. Yeah, no increment. It's fine, you know. I mean, for me, I play the chess game. I lose on time is fine. Part of the game. Hey, Pyle, what's up? So guys, again, remember, tomorrow we have the club event, okay? Starts at 8 p.m. European time. So please come. If you want this club to become active again, help with the events. If the club becomes active, that means I can stream more often. All right, let's do something not London. do it too. And the big question, what is this, yeah? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa, hombre? Yeah, I need this knight somewhere here. Alright, let's try. Let's try to get him somewhere exciting, like here, yeah? The big question, do I have anything here or not? Does white have an advantage here? Not certain. Not certain that I do. Normally, you know, I'd play knight c4 with the idea of knight e3, because then I have access to both squares. I think knight c4, knight e3 was actually better. And then knight can go to g4 instead. Why do you resign? You can play this. You can play bishop g6. What are you doing, man? Like, look at this. Bishop g6, yeah? You completely stop everything. And if h4, you play f5. It's only a small advantage for me. Yeah, I have to play g4, and then you play king h8. Yeah, that was the line I was looking at. And now rook d1 on h3, correct. And I thought I have a small advantage here, but it's a game, man. Yes, the idea is to play h4, h5, push the bishop, hit this thing. But you should have some, like, yeah, you can counterattack. h4, h5 now doesn't seem so strong. But you need to see this, of course, which is not easy. Yeah. Alright. So, don't resign, man. Just try to look for... Yeah. If you're a veteran to my channel, then you know my views on flagging, okay? I tolerate it in my private events. I don't tolerate it in prize money events, okay? That's all. It's like choices that you make in life. You want to be better at chess, or you want to be better at fast clicking. The decision is yours. Sure, lots of grandmasters do it. And I spoke last time on the stream, I think. Recollected the times when Nakamura flagged me with king and rook versus king and rook. Just because he wanted to prove that he is better than me. That certainly didn't prove that he was better at chess. It just proved that he was faster and younger. But also when you do stuff like that, it shows me that, you know, you care more about winning than about the game. You can do that. But to me, it was always about the game. but everybody makes their own choices. And flagging is, time is part of the game, yes, that's the big argument. It's cliche, but it's there, yeah, for sure. Time is part of the game. And then, of course, we come to all sorts of exceptions. Yeah. Again, does the king and rook versus king and rook qualify as the, time being part of the game? Or is that already in the area where you can call it as being a pretty much asshole? Yeah. It depends. Yeah, this is a mature channel. We can give things their names. Okay, it's channel for the mature people. It's not a kiddie channel. And like there was this very nice word that I learned. The Germans had this thing called Realpolitik. Yeah. And so there is something in chess which I call real chess politic thing. Okay. So I'm a big fan of straight talking, straight shooting. Gave me a lot of people, that were not friendly to me, but again, can't please everybody in your life. Yeah. Although it is better sometimes to keep silent than to, say stupid things and create more unpleasantness. But unfortunately, as I get older, my tolerance for bullshit kind of grows lower. So I apologize for that. Yeah. Got an interesting game? Let's see. Wait, my game has started. Okay. Let's introduce back the opening that I studied back in the day. The good old hippo. The opening that brought me a lot of points in the Blitz games when I was younger. I would say that I actually pioneered this opening at the top Blitz events. I beat Magnus 2-0 with it in the 2017 Blitz Championship. The kid was not quite Magnus, not 2017, 2007. He was already very, very strong at that point, so I would call that still an achievement. Also, guys, did you know that Magnus is now ranked 9 on the FIDE ELO list? Somehow I got used to seeing him in the first position. Or was that? Okay, maybe not 9. Yeah, maybe it was just... I just read the Facebook article. Maybe the guy was just joking. I need to check it. Can somebody check if Magnus rating is... Yeah, it should be like 2800 still, yeah? I don't know, why would he drop like 900 points? Or something. Yeah, that was probably just what was it called? When somebody introduces the elements of fake news. Yeah, that was probably fake news, yeah? I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, Evelyn needs to play selfish, yeah, that's the only way you play it. You sacrifice your teammates and you score points. That's pretty much how Evelyn is played. And once you get strong, they'll be afraid to walk alone for the rest of the game. And that's where you have the game. Yeah, that's how you play Evelyn. Alright, so we're going for this massive Yeah, you can't play like this, London. Yeah, you just opened up everything. Come on, man. It does not work. Play here as open center. You're gonna get absolutely killed here. Spare. You give me also the bishop pair. I'll take it. And you castle here. We immediately open the files. Yeah, pretty normal. You can play 95 first. Probably even better. 95. Remove this queen from this active spot, because he can still kind of entertain ideas where he can take this thing. So that might have been inaccurate on my part. Yeah. But you know, this pawn doesn't matter. What matters is if we get to this king. Like, remember that dragon game we looked at, yeah? It doesn't matter how many pawns you sack or anything. What matters is you get to the pawn king. G6. Grab. I get to you first. I get to you first. This bishop. Also, this bishop is coming. Round one, fight. Scorpion wins. Okay. Defense, attack. Take more. Let's check. So many things, man. Page 6 looks good. Yeah, just throw kitchen and sink at me, yeah? Does it work? Nope. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Pretty much that happens to everybody who is... well, he can stay like Anand and Kasparov. They just stopped playing and their ratings just kept being up there. So they play maybe one tournament a year and stay active that way. I think it's completely wrong though. They should actually... You know, there's one thing about the league that they got right, is that in the league they have these challenger and master tiers, and if if you're not active, your rating starts to decay. Okay, and I think that is one of the things that chess at the top really needs, because that way the top players demonstrate constantly that they are the best. Okay, and there is a way for younger people to get to that level. So I think the decaying elo would be a really nice introduction to the top chess. And that way we don't have people who don't play chess and have 2760 remain at 2760 forever, okay? I think that's the big problem. All right. By the way, guys, I know that the what is that? Cobra Kai, yeah? I think they ended the show with the last season, but I didn't watch it. Is it worth it? Anybody watched it? Because by the season 4, I was pretty much seeing the same thing, and I got pretty tired. And I thought that you know, the first 3 seasons were okay, but they should have stopped it there maybe. But maybe season number 5 was good. Anybody watched it? Because I don't want to like spend like 50 hours or 10 hours watching it and then find out. Yeah, I'm watching Ellen Earth and I'm watching the Foundation. These are in my mind the most fun shows right now. And there's supposed to be also Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday is cool. Supposed to be on. Pretty modern, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, thank you for coming to the this practicing arena. Just a reminder again, tomorrow, if you go to my club, we have this tournament starts in 19 hours. So you can check this club page to see how much time you got left before the tournament starts. Okay, it's the first team event we're taking part in. All right, so it's kind of would be nice if we have a nice turnout, because that will show me that you guys are really interested in going and rebuilding our club, being active, doing some things like stream battles, you know. Those of you who were here with me, like in the COVID years, you remember we had stream battles with all sorts of streamers, including Morozevich. Yeah? Those were nice. And there will be also Lichess events, yeah. But for that, we need to be active. I've written to the Lichess about the streamers arena, but for that to work, I probably need the official streamer title, yeah, which they took away from me. So I just sent them an application if they will get our club to the arena, regardless whether I have the Lichess streamer title or not. So let's see how they will respond. If they don't respond, then okay, then we know that we are on our own. Okay. So thank you to Lichess for, you know, we can use the platform free of charge, which is nice. So we appreciate that. If they're not gonna, you know, agree to our club joining their official streamer events, that's cool. Then we're just gonna run the limited events that we do. And if we get big enough, at some point, you know, they will not be able to ignore our club, yeah, at some point. But for that, we kind of need to get big first. Again, depends on my energy level, depends on, you know, the schedule. You know, if in the COVID years I was still traveling quite a bit, playing in the open tournaments for the team, I might play some team events also. But if our moderators will remain active, that means the team events can still progress, okay? And I'll keep tabs. But we'll see, okay? All right, guys, so see you tomorrow. So it starts at 8 p.m. I'll start the stream like half an hour before. So I'm looking at start like 7:30 p.m. and we'll slowly get everybody in. The whole event runs only 1 hour and 40 minutes. It's actually shorter than our arena today was. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming and thank you for your support. We need all support we can get. Again, reminder that for this month of September, I do have this discount of back to the school for the chess lessons. Okay. Normally it's 100 an hour, but if you're my subscriber, you get 50 discount off. You get $50 an hour lessons. Okay. Keep that in mind. All right, guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you for coming. Good night.